Hi everyone, it's Jennifer from Flux. In this video, I will show you how to crochet the Raspberry Buttercream Infinity Scarf. This is a beautiful and elegant infinity scarf, and it's made with a simple yet very pretty stitch sequence. And I use 3 colors for this project. And for this project, you'll need a 5.5 millimeter eye crochet hook, a pair of scissors, a tapestry needle for weaving in your ends and doing your finished work. And the yarn I used is called Capra DK by Knit Picks. It's a cashmere merino wool blend. However, if you'd like to substitute your yarn, just look for yarn out there that recommends an eye hook on the yarn label. And I used 3 balls of that, and actually you can see I did have some leftovers, but each ball of this is 123 yards. So I did have some leftovers. If you want to make yours longer, it's up to you. So let's get started. The Infinity Scarf has a finished measurement of 7.5 inches wide, and I made mine have a 39-inch circumference. However, you can change the length of your Infinity Scarf or even make it a regular scarf by not seaming the ends. But I made mine 39 inches, and that gave the look in the photo seen at the beginning of this video. To get the striping shown in the scarf here, I worked 6 rows of each color. So in this video, I'm not only going to show you how to work the stitch sequence and begin the scarf, but we'll also learn how to transition from color to color, and then we'll learn how to seam our infinity scarf at the end. So to begin, we're going to put a slip knot on our hook. To make a slip knot, wrap the yarn around your fingers to make a loop, bring the yarn behind the loop, reach in with your crochet hook, bring up a loop, and tighten. Our scarf has a starting chain of 26. To make a chain, wrap yarn around hook and bring it through the loop. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. You want to make your starting chain fairly loosely so it doesn't draw up at the bottom. So let's move on to row 1. We're going to work row 1 in the 4th chain from our hook. This loop here does not count. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. In this 4th chain from the hook, we're going to work a double crochet. To make a double crochet, wrap yarn around hook, insert the hook into the chain, bring up a loop, wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the first 2 loops, wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the next 2 loops. We'll work a double crochet in the next chain as well, just like that. And then in the next chain after that, we'll get a little more yarn here. In the next chain, we're going to work a double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and a double crochet, all in the same chain. Get some more yarn. We're going to skip the next chain after that, and in the next chain, we're going to work a double crochet in each of the next 2 chains. So double crochet, double crochet. It'll look something like this. So we're just going to keep repeating what we've just done. So in the next chain, we'll work a double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, double crochet, all in the same stitch. Just like that. We'll skip the next chain, and then each of the next 2 chains we'll work a double crochet. So double crochet, double crochet, just like that. Get some more yarn. The next chain, we'll do the same thing. Double crochet, chain 3. 1, 2, 3, double crochet, all in the same chain. Skip the next chain. In the chain after that, work a double crochet. In the next chain, work a double crochet. In the next chain, we'll do the same thing. Double crochet, get some more yarn. We're using our yarn up pretty quick. So we just did a double crochet, then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, then a double crochet, all in the same chain. Okay? So skip the next chain, and then in the chain after that, work a double crochet. In the chain after that, work a double crochet. Then in the chain after that, work a double crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, then a double crochet, all in the same chain. So we can kind of look back at our progress. Okay, so we're almost to the end. So we're going to skip the next chain, work a double crochet, work a double crochet, and in that very last chain, work a double crochet, just like that. And row 1 will be complete. You can kind of see the row already starting to get set up for those. They're kind of like, it's kind of like a sideways tilted granny stripe sequence. So let's move on to the next row. To work row 2, we're just going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and turn. Then in this first chain 3 space from the previous row, you'll see it because it creates this sort of V-shaped hole. We're going to work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Like that. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Then chain 1. We're doing this all in this space here. And it'll look just like that. Okay? Go on to the next chain 3 space that we come to and work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And then work 1 more double crochet all in that space. Just like that. Okay? Then we'll just keep going across and doing the same thing. Come up to the next space that you come to, the next chain 3 space. Work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then a double crochet all in that space, that chain 3 space. Come up to the next, little tail's getting caught. Come up to the next space. Work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and a double crochet, all in the same space. So it's starting to shape up a little bit. And then in the very last chain 3 space, work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then a double crochet, all in the same space. To finish up row 2, we're just going to work 3 double crochets in the top of the turning chain. So as the turning chain kind of comes up and starts to turn, you'll just work it in that one turning chain right there. So work 3 double crochets right in that turning chain, and that will finish up row 2. So it should look kind of like this. It's already starting to look very pretty and lacy. So what you're going to do to finish your infinity scarf is just repeat the row we just did over and over and over again until the scarf is 39 inches long or the desired length. So to keep going, you'll just chain 5, turn, and do the same exact thing. At this point, I'm going to show you how to change colors. Now, this scarf I did 6 rows before I changed colors, but because we're just repeating row 2, I'm going to show you right now. So what you're going to do is you're just going to cut your yarn. Now, there's lots of ways to change colors for a new row. I like to just cut mine and tie the new one on. If you have a preferred way of joining a new color, please feel free to do that. I'll get this pretty off-white. So all you're going to do, we just cut and fastened off, and then you're going to insert your hook into this last stitch here, pull the new yarn through, and just tie it right on. And then at the end, I'm going to show you how to weave all this in so that you can know how to do that too. So we're just tying the new yarn right on, and again, you'll just keep repeating row 2, but I'm going to just show you. We're not doing anything different stitch-wise. We're just going to do a new color. So you're going to grab your new yarn and then reinsert the hook back into the stitch, pull the new yarn up, and then you'll just repeat row 2 with the new color. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll just go a little ways to show you. So you'll come up to this first chain 3 space, and you're just going to proceed as you normally would for row 2. Now you can make your scarf have a new color every row, or you can make yours all one color. It's totally up to you. And then when you're finished, you can, actually I meant to say earlier, you can kind of weave these ends in as you go along, or you can weave them in at the end, just like that. So that's how you change colors on a new row. So at this point, I'm going to show you how to do your finish work and how to seam your infinity scarf together so you can wear it. So I've left all the tails hanging out to show you. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to show you a tip. So what we're going to do is we're going to just thread one of the tails. This is the lighter purple. And when you are weaving in ends, you'll want to weave, for example, this lighter purple, I want to weave it into the light purple section. When I weave in a dark purple end, I want to weave it into the dark purple fuchsia section. So that way, if I were to weave this through this section, it would just stick right out. So we're going to just weave this in to this lighter purple tail into the lighter purple section. So we're going to go in one direction and then come back in the other direction, and then just take our scissors and trim. Now I have lots of ends here, and you can weave all your ends in, but that's how you weave the ends in, and you'll just do that for the rest of them. So let's seam our infinity scarf. There's lots of different ways you can do this. I've left the yarn intact, and let me just come back here. So what you'll do is reinsert the hook back into the project, and as you're coming around, you just put those very last stitches in to the end of your scarf, just like that. So I just finished up the very last row of my scarf, and then I'm going to grab my yarn ball so it's a little bit closer. Then we're going to grab the other end, and again, all these ends are hanging out, and we'll deal with those later. So we're going to take our other end and we're going to sandwich it together. Now I wanted to also mention, so I ended up with purple, and I did that on purpose because if I look at the other end of my scarf, my other end ends on light purple and the color before that is white. So when I seam this dark purple into the lighter purple, it's going to continue that dark purple, light purple, white, dark purple, light purple, white, and continue that as if it was one continuous piece. So keep that in mind when you're working a striped infinity scarf, that you keep that color sequence going around and around in a continuous sequence. You don't want to have two dark purples side by side because it's going to be a big wide stripe as opposed to the other stripes that you've created. Okay, so we've come up to the end. We're going to sandwich our ends together just like that. And then we're going to take our project and turn, because in crochet, obviously, we work from right to left. So we were just going to flip it over and then take your hook and you're going to go through both layers. You're going to go through the loops of this side. There we go. And then the loops of this side, both loops of both layers, okay? So just wrap your yarn around the hook. Now at this point too, you'll want to decide if you want to seam it with a slip stitch, which is a little bit flatter, or a single crochet seam. Alternatively, I'm going to crochet these together. Alternatively, you could cut this yarn, thread your tapestry needle, and just sew them together. We're going to crochet them together because we already have the yarn attached. We didn't cut the yarn and it's just a lot easier, but if you want to sew them, totally up to you, okay? So wrap the yarn around your hook and bring it through all the layers. Okay, now if you want to do a slip stitch seam, just bring this loop through the loop already on your hook. If you want to do a single crochet seam, wrap yarn around the hook and bring it through both loops. Either one is fine, okay? I'm going to do a single crochet just because I just did that stitch just now. So we're going through both loops of this layer, both loops of this layer, yarn around hook, bring it through. Insert your hook into the first layer, insert your hook into the second layer, yarn around hook, bring it through both loops. Again, this is the single crochet seam. You can do a slip stitch seam, a whip stitch seam, whatever you prefer. Everybody kind of has, some people really don't like to sew, so they want to crochet it together. Others like the control of the needle and sewing it together. Oops, I dropped it. There we go. Just go in both layers. So I am going to go ahead and seam this all the way across, and then we'll rejoin in just a moment. Again, I'm just working my seam all the way across. So I've come up to the end here, and I just worked a single crochet all the way across, sandwiched the two pieces together. So you can see our little seam. Now let's go ahead, grab our scissors, cut the yarn and fasten off, and we can inspect our seam and make sure it looks nice. I would actually recommend doing this before you cut your yarn, just to make sure. Sometimes when I'm seaming, I like to pull it out and start over. So we're going to turn it right side out. We have a nice seam. Looks very nice, color to color. And again, you'll want to, weave in all these ends before you finish. And then you'll have a very nice scarf to wear. And our infinity scarf is complete. And if you want to, you can also, before you seam your ends together, you can also give your infinity scarf a twist, and that will make it lay a little flatter around your neck. It's totally up to you. I did not do that, and the photo at the beginning of this video does not have a twist as well, in case you're wondering. So that's it. That's how you crocheted the Raspberry Buttercream Infinity Scarf. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure and click the red subscribe button to get all the latest Fiber Flux video updates. Thanks again!